What's up everybody, and welcome to another top 10 video here on Cloak Reaper Games. This time, it's the top 10 hardest PSVR Platinum trophies. Quick disclaimer first, I'm only including games that do not have multiplayer trophies in the top 10, simply because this is a PSVR list, and most PSVR multiplayer games don't have a player base, making most of those Platinums pretty much completely impossible. But some of those games' Platinum trophies and their lists are so difficult, they'll still be included as honorable mentions at the end of the video. Also, these are in no particular order, and this is based off of personal opinion, experience getting and not getting some of these Platinum trophies myself, and the time it takes to obtain them. If you disagree with my picks, that's fine, and everyone has their own opinion. But be sure to let me know in the comments section which PSVR games you think are the hardest to Platinum, and are you any of the very few people who have any of these Platinum trophies? But enough intro, starting off with number 10, Until Dawn Rush of Blood. This is an on-rail shooter set in the Until Dawn universe where you ride a roller coaster constantly being attacked by all kinds of different monsters. This is a super difficult Platinum mainly because of just one trophy, the Nightmare Ends. This trophy requires you to beat the game on Psychotic difficulty. What's so bad about Psychotic? Well, if you die at any point in the game, for any reason at all, that's it, game over, you start again from scratch. So basically it's permadeath. With tons of spiders, pigmen, and clowns, there's so much out to kill you, and Psychotic still uses the same difficulty scale as Insane, the next hardest difficulty option, so you die in like 3 hits anyway. Get hit a few times, and bam, you have to start the entire game over. Good luck on this one, you're going to need it. At number 9 is Superhot VR. One of the greatest PSVR games, but also one of its most difficult Platinum trophies. There are multiple trophies to stop you here, all have to deal with beating a certain mode. The first two are Speedrun Real Time and Speedrun Game Time. Each has you enter a level and challenges you to complete it in under a set amount of time. Both modes are practically impossible. They don't give you a second to spare. On top of that, it's super hot, so the faster you move, the more likely you are to die. Everything happens so quick when you're speedrunning, your reaction time has to be crazy fast and you have to know every inch of each of the levels. Then there's Headshots Only mode. It's exactly what it sounds like, headshots only, whether you're punching, shooting, or throwing an object. And last but not least is One Life mode. You get 1 life to go through the entire game, and if you die, you start all over from the beginning. Not to mention, it's super hot, so you die in 1 hit, and you can never really know exactly how a level's going to go down. Massive congratulations are in order to anyone who can snag this Platinum trophy. Number 8, Blasters of the Universe. This is a VR bullet hell game where you have shots coming at you from all directions, and getting hit in the head is the only way to take damage. So you're dodging all over the place and shooting back constantly. It's a ton of fun, but it's Platinum. You better be ready to put in a ton of hours because you're in for a massive grind. None of the trophies are particularly hard, but you can expect to expend like 15 hours chasing some of these trophies, and I mean individually. Almost every one of these trophies requires you to get a minimum of 1,000 kills in a certain way, like get 1,000 bounce kills, 1,000 reflection kills, kill 5,000 troopers, dissolve 100,000 enemy shots, kill 100 enemies while they're jumping with a ricochet. The list goes on and on. This may be one of my favorite PSVR games and one of the ones I return to the most, but this is a Platinum I sadly will likely never obtain. Only one person has this Platinum trophy. With number 7, we have the great team at Servios bringing in Raw Data. This is one of the less difficult Platinums on this list, but it's more than hard enough to get that only a handful of people have made it the whole way. Raw Data is a tower defense wave shooter where you can choose from 4 different characters, each with their own weapons and abilities. You have to protect a small tower from tons of very angry robot enemies and mechs. The trophy Living the Dream is what's going to get you here. This requires you to beat the game on Nightmare difficulty, and that is no easy task. Trying to juggle between dodging incoming attacks, repairing turrets, trying to defend the tower, and watching out for suicide bombers, it's super chaotic, and at any second you or the tower can just be pounded into dust. And if I remember right, there are no checkpoints. Unfortunately, my save data was gone, so I couldn't actually go and play Nightmare like I had originally, but anyway, Raw Data is a cool game, but man, Nightmare difficulty is super hard, and in this game, it's going to take some serious dedication and perseverance to get this Platinum. For number 6, we have Arizona Sunshine. Ever been playing a game, taking out everything, getting trophy after trophy, and then just get stopped dead in your tracks by a brick wall? Well, that's exactly what the Hard Boiled trophy is going to do to you. Surprisingly, this is another platinum where a hard difficulty is going to stop you. The hard-boiled trophy requires you to beat the game in apocalyptic mode. This mode is stupid, unnecessarily difficult. There is almost no ammo, there are tons of zombies, and you die in one hit with no checkpoints. You thought you had to conserve ammo in Resident Evil? That's nothing compared to this. You miss a few shots in a level, you might as well just start over. Assuming a zombie didn't just walk by you and you died anyway. The most difficult part of this, besides having almost no ammo, are the moments in the game where you're attacked by hordes of zombies. If one even gets near and takes a swing, you're dead, and you have to start the whole level over. You don't have to start the entire game over like Rush of Blood, but still. There are no checkpoints, just an autosave in between each level. I actually beat this, and I swear, it was one of the toughest things I ever did in a game. This mode is just on the edge of impossible. Number 5 is Knockout League. This is an arcade-style boxing game that's really hard without even thinking about the platinum. Sure, the first 3 or 4 fights are pretty easy, but right after, it's a massive difficulty spike. You have to learn everything about every single character to beat them. I know things look easy here, and it looks kinda slow, but it isn't. It's so much faster in the game, and these are just 2 of the first 4 fighters. Anyway, just beating the game isn't what's going to stop you from getting this platinum, although it's going to be a task. There are 4 trophies here to act as one gigantic brick wall. 3 for getting a cumulative super score of up to 5, 6, and 7 million points in each circuit, but the real one that's going to get you is the Trophy Perfect Run. This trophy has you defeat all fighters without taking damage in grudge match mode. So at some point after defeating a fighter, you'll be contacted for a grudge match. This time, whoever you're fighting is faster than they were before, they can knock you out in just 2 or 3 normal hits, and it takes more to take them down. It's hard enough to beat these guys normally, but grudge matches can be super hard. Then you add in beating them all without taking a hit, that's just crazy. You're gonna have to fight the same opponent a lot to memorize everything about them. Then you add in that this game makes you extremely tired. Seriously, this thing wears you out. Beat Saber on Expert Plus doesn't come close to this, nor does Creed, and I bought this game for this video actually, and I'm hurting in muscles that I didn't know I had. And I play Beat Saber on Expert Plus like all the time. I go for hours, no pain. This game will wear you out. That's enough to make this platinum difficult. Anyway, all around everything is stacked against you here, but I imagine this will be an extremely rewarding platinum. Number 4 is In Death. This is basically just a list of trophies you'll never get. In Death is a roguelike game that's procedurally generated, so every time you die and the game reloads, the layout and enemies are all different. This isn't like something that just has a hard difficulty and you need to know the game inside out to beat it. You can't memorize this game. In Death is really hard by itself, but then you add in the trophy list and it's just all out hell. From trophies that are huge grinds like killing thousands of multiple different enemy types to completing certain areas in very short periods of time, or probably the most difficult trophy in the game, Harbinger of Anguish, for getting 666 headshots in one life. Also, this game pretty much only uses bow and arrow, so good luck. Hats off to the 2 people who actually have this platinum trophy. Number 3, it's Shooty Fruity. This is a super fun and chaotic wave shooter where you play 1 out of 3 jobs like being a grocery bagger or store clerk. But one thing is the same in all 3 jobs. All the fruit in the store is attacking you and you need to juggle between grabbing weapons from the conveyor belt above you, killing fruit, and doing your job all at the same time. Don't discount it because it's a wave shooter. This is actually a great game with a very challenging but very rewarding platinum. There are a couple trophies here that are difficult, like Pistol Expert for getting 100% accuracy with a full magazine 10 times in a shift. But the one that's going to get you the most here is Employee of the Year for completing all challenges. There are 72 challenges to complete, 3 for each of the 24 levels in the game. Clearly, there are too many to focus on in this video, so let's go straight to the hardest one. I hated this challenge. Hated it. It took me weeks to complete this thing. In this level, you need to scan 10 groceries in 10 seconds. Doesn't sound too hard, right? Well, it is. First off, for it to count for the trophy, you need to actually scan the barcode on the item. Second, you need to throw it down the correct lane, or it won't count. And then you need to start hoarding a pile of 10 groceries to scan, so that you'll have the 10 to do in 10 seconds. But here comes the really fun part. The store is overrun with suicide bombing avocados. They come hopping at you in groups, jump on your workstation, and explode everything, throwing all your carefully piled up groceries all over the store. It's the most infuriating thing ever. It's hard enough to scan these 10 groceries in 10 seconds, but adding on the barcode, putting it down the right lane, and dealing with suicide bombing fruit? Very annoying, very difficult to pull off, but like I said, after almost a month of trying, it was very rewarding to get this one. Number 2, Mortal Blitz. This was the first game in an episodic series of games that never saw its sequels. It's a futuristic first-person shooter that has you go through 5 levels ducking attacks and shooting bad guys. Nightmare difficulty itself is super hard to begin with, but what's going to stop you from getting this platinum is the trophy Sharpshooter level 5. This requires you to beat all 50 of the training levels in the game. Most of them aren't too bad. It's the special levels at 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 that will end your journey to this platinum. The training program has you shooting red and orange colored balls that bounce around the room with a pair of pistols. What makes these special levels so hard, besides the fact that there are a ton of these targets to hit, is that they're bouncing everywhere, and whenever one hits the floor, it takes 1 second off your remaining time to complete the challenge. Oh yeah, did I mention that if you actually manage to beat these special levels, you're only going to have like 3 seconds or less on the clock? So yeah, no margin for error here. Where you shoot a ball does change its course of direction, but shooting the bottom to make them go up doesn't really do anything if they're already getting close to the ground, about to take your time away. And this is just level 30. This isn't even 40 or 50. I couldn't get past 30. These things are just crazy hard. Good luck on this one. And finally, number 1, Audica. This probably is the most difficult PSVR Platinum there is. Audica is a rhythm shooter made by the people over at Harmonix. It has you shooting 2 different colored targets to the music, and in cases of higher difficulties, it has you shoot targets horizontally or vertically. There are multiple trophies here that are going to stop almost anyone from getting this platinum. The first trophy to stop you is called Tight AF. This trophy wants you to beat a song with perfect timing and perfect aim requirements in a single run. This means every single target absolutely has to be a bullseye, and your timing can't be off by even a millisecond. Good luck with that one. But hold up, then you have to deal with the Laser Priest. This trophy has you 5-star all songs on expert, but then they take it even a step further with another trophy that requires you to gold star all songs on expert. Gold stars are rewarded for having above 90% of the highest possible score for any given song. And you have to do this for every song. So basically this means you need to hit every single note. It needs to be a bullseye. Your timing can't be more than a couple of milliseconds off. And you have to be able to do this for every single song from the base game on the hardest difficulty. It's freaking insane. One person has finally gotten this platinum months after the game's release, and I wouldn't expect to see anyone else get it anytime soon. I'm ranked in the top 5, top 10 for a lot of the songs in this game, but I'm nowhere near this platinum. I think they're kind of asking a little much for it, actually. Now let's move on to some honorable mentions. Like I said, these didn't really make it in because they had multiplayer trophies, and you can't really find people in multiplayer games on PSVR most of the time, so that essentially makes them somewhat impossible, unless you have some buddies. So, first off we have Bloody Zombies. This is a VR side-scroller beat-em-up that is hard to begin with, but with this trophy list, it's almost like why even try? Most people haven't even been able to finish this game, period. Then you bring in trophies like Boffin for getting an S rank on every level, or is that all you've got? For beating the final level without dying. This is one of those ones where you look at the trophy list and you're just like, yeah, I'm not even trying that. Just gonna beat the game and move on. Our next honorable mention is Farpoint. Pretty much everyone knows what Farpoint is. First-person shooter, crash landing on a planet full of spiders and other creatures that are trying to kill you. What'll stop you here are the trophies for getting 3 medals on all the challenge levels. This is stupid hard. These challenge levels have you running down a linear path with a decreasing time limit and enemies to shoot along the way. To get a high enough score, 1, you need to not die, which is harder than it sounds, because 2, you have to keep your combo multiplier maxed out and it drains incredibly fast. You keep it up by killing enemies, but there are a few issues with that. There are areas in the levels where you just walk through for 15 or 20 seconds and there are no enemies. That's way more than enough time to lose your combo, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. Then there's accuracy. Missing a shot will devastate your combo. I was using the precision rifle and had a 3 times multiplier and missed 3 quick shots, and it took the entire multiplier away. Finally, the enemies do a ton of damage and surround you, so you need to take cover pretty often, and you're always losing your multiplier when you do that too. Even if you have a co-op buddy, this is still insanely hard, approaching impossible. It's just super hard, and only a few people have this platinum. Those are my picks for the top 10 hardest PSVR platinum trophies. There are a lot of games I really wanted to have on this list, like Eagle Flight totally should have been here, for single player and multiplayer, but sadly you can't find players on most of these games, so I didn't want to include them. There's a difference between being able to at least try and get a platinum even though its trophies are incredibly difficult, near impossible tasks to complete, and just flat out not being able to get a platinum because the trophy requires you to win 200 games, but there isn't even anyone to play a game against. But make sure to let me know in the comments section which PSVR platinum trophies you think are the hardest to get, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.